talking right now. So the voice is clear for me.
Okay, well, let's start our lecture talk series 20 now. Well, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let's thanks to the Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Because of His blessing, we can meet in this virtual meeting. Uh, the title Cultural Exchange in the Age of Globalization, Opportunities and Challenges in Lecture Talk Series 20. Secondly, Salawat and Salam also delivered to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who guided us from the darkness into the brightness. Um, Before we show our lecture talk series 20, let me introduce our team first. My name is Abdul Rashid. I'm here as moderator. And today for our lecture talk, we have um, two keynote speakers. They are Alisa Dulgayan and also Anamay Monteza. And also we have um, five presenters from our college students from different faculty. And this lecture talk series 20 on the title, as I said to you earlier, Cultural Exchange in the Age of Globalization, Opportunities and Challenges. Before we start our lecture talk series 20, I would like to read sequence of this lecture talk. This lecture talk will divide it into four sessions. Number one, the first is opening. The second is presentation. And the third session is Q&A session. And the last is closing. Um, uh, Before we start our lecture talk, I have additional information also for both keynote speakers and also presenters from our faculty that due to time constraints, we at language unit have another meeting schedule at 1 p.m. Therefore, we have to finish our lecture talk, our virtual meeting today before 1 p.m. That's why I will give opportunity for keynote speakers and also presenters. For keynote speakers first, I will give you 15 minutes to convey your presentation. And shortly after that, you will have around 5 minutes to Q&A session. And for our presenters from college students from different faculty at Yaya Madura, you will have 10 minutes to present your presentation and as well as the Q&A session. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us open our lecture talk series 20 by saying Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Well, in this special occasion, I would like to introduce our first keynote speakers to you. Her name is, wait, wait. Okay, okay. Why this is, I have a problem to open. Okay, wait. Okay. The first keynote speaker is Alisa Nurgayan. She is ESL, EFL, ESP trainer, PhD, teachers trainer from Kacatura Bovian Armenian State Pedagogical University. Okay, for Mrs. Alicia, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, one more time.
Good
As
morning.
introduced,
Good morning.
I'm glad to meet you and also talk about globalization and also cultural exchange because let me first share my screen because as I have short time, I have also a short presentation for you. In this case. Is it visible for you or not?
Yes, it is
Yes,
visible
it
for
is.
us.
Okay. If it is visible, let's start. Okay. Today we will talk about the cultural exchange and also in the age of globalization. This will be our topic for today. First of all, let's go and start to know what is cultural exchange in this case, because it's going to be like when we combine different ideas, different nations, traditions, knowledge, everything on one platform. This is going to be like cultural exchange. But how can it be? Let's imagine such like a real situation. This is today's meeting is also being like cultural exchange because I'm from another culture, you are from another culture. It's also we are going to share ideas, knowledge. This is going to be like again cultural exchange for us. And in this case, when we are having such kind of things, what we usually do, first of all, we try to understand, we try to choose one language that can be appropriately used during our conversation, our talk. This is going like to have a common cultural exchanging ideas together. Second step, usually when we talk about it, it's going to be like to break down barriers, helping each other, helping different people in order like for communication, for collaboration, and doing even when you travel, when you have a business, when you go and study in another country, this is also going to be like a cultural exchange together. And at the same time, when we talk about it, let's go a little bit think about in the age of globalization, because globalization is going to be like identified as interconnected, which has brought about positive and negative effects on the cultural diversity. In this section, we usually think that it can only have positive, like sections, positive influences, globalization on the culture exchange, because it shows you and also it gives you an opportunity to exchange, to know about the culture from the positive side. But the scientists who just are in with this problem, they usually say that it has also negative things because not knowing the culture, the language can bring positive things, but at the same time it can have has also it can have different kinds of negative influences too. And different kinds of contexts or relationships between the cultures, it can just arise a wide variety of reasons. In modern conditions, we sometimes talk about development of intercultural feeling, which occurs in different areas of our life. It can be art, it can be education, it can be just tourism, economic, sport, etc. The geopolitical, social, and also economical changes also they influence. It can be positively again and negatively. They can influence on the whole, let's say, curriculum of the development of people and the world. And from this side, we can just say that one of the critical benefits that usually we need about the globalization is the facilitation of cross-cultural dialogue, collaboration, and also about the understanding. People from different countries, they usually interact, engage in various domains such as education, business, and sometimes while interacting, this dialogue can promote the empathy, the tolerance, and also the recognition of shared humanity, fostering a more interconnected and harmonious global society. And the origin, if we go and see the origin of globalization, we also can find it in different cultural, historical books, and also in different kinds of researches. We can see that while developing the globalization, the cultural exchange always it has just existed. And in this case, when we talk about it, we always think that it's going to be like interaction, socio-cultural interaction between the people. Furthermore, globalization has played a great significant role in preserving and revitalizing indigenous cultures. For example, when we go and when we see a global community, we can see different cultures there. And it's going to be like a real example of the development of globalization. It also has also have aided indigenous communities in their efforts to protect their cultural heritage. Because when there is a cultural cross exchange, this is going not only just represent the culture, but at the same time, it's another version which gives you not only exchange, but also represent. And also in this way, you can just say your cultural just heritage. And through different kinds of international platforms and initiatives, indigenous cultures, which have gained the visibility, it can be just appreciated and also leading to the different kinds of safeguarding practices, languages, traditional language, knowledge too. Imagine a situation, you are traveling and you have an opportunity to be in another culture, in another, let's say, part of globalization, which is too different from your culture and from your language and tradition. What is your reaction in this case? I think, first of all, we should try to get adapted to this situation. Even if we are a traveler, even if we are like, let's say, a tourist, we are going to try to correlate and at the same time to try to find something in common with our tradition. Or another situation, just imagine that you are
I'm sorry,
student.
Mrs. Alice. I'm
Yes.
sorry, Mrs. Alisa. Are you sharing screen to us?
Yes. Do you see or not?
Yeah, we are not seeing your screen.
Okay, let me share it.
Okay.
Baik, terima kasih teman-teman. Semoga apa yang tadi kita
What about now? Is it visible for you?
Yes, your Windows is opening. Yes, it's good.
Yes?
Yes.
Haven't you seen? Haven't you
Yes.
seen from the first slide?
Yeah. I have. We have seen your
Okay.
screen.
Yes, we are now seeing your screen.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I have started from this one. If you haven't seen about exchanging, and also about the barriers that I was talking, and also about the origin of globalization, which can be found in different parts, and also about the globalization, we can just say that it has positively affected cultural diversity, because in this case, it has been like not only has given a new opportunity for all the people to exchange their language, their tradition, but also to bring up and set up a new development of different kinds of not only technology, but also science, because we just try to know about different kinds of innovations, and in this case, we can just say that there in one group, for example, about the invention there can be different nationalities, scientists, and we can say that globalization, it can just bring like enriching cultural knowledge and appreciation, promoting cross-cultural dialogue and understanding, supporting indigenous cultures, and also facilitating successful intercultural collaborations. These positive, like let's say, outcomes demonstrate the potential for enrichment and also for mutual respect. And in this case, when we can say it's crucial to acknowledge the complex and also dynamic relationship between the globalization and also the cultural diversity. And first of all, it will just enrich the cultural knowledge and also appreciation through exposure to diverse culture. And in this case, when we explore how the globalization facilitates intercultural learning and also understanding. And on the other hand, globalization has played a significant role in facilitating, and also in this case, we can say that it has played understanding and also enriching cultural knowledge and appreciation among the individuals. And at the same time, having different kinds of exposure encourages the individuals to question and also to know about different nations, their stereotypes, and also how they can impact, and at the same time, how they can collaborate in the diversity of culture in order to be a part of globalization. And also about the examination of the positive impact of cultural diversity on personal and social development, because cultural diversity, which is fostered by the globalization, has a profound positive impact on personal and social development. Just imagine yourself that you can be in a multinational diversity cultural, and in this case, it will be just easier for you to go, and it will have a positive impact on you. It will just enhance the cognitive flexibility, enabling individuals to consider multiple approaches and also solutions to various challenges. Moreover, when we talk about it, we can say that cultural diversity brings a wealth of knowledge, skills, and also experiences to societies. It also fosters innovation as individuals from different cultural backgrounds bring unique perspectives and ideas. We can say that as a summary, that cultural diversity facilitated by globalization positively it impacts on personal and social development. And in this case, when we talk facilitating of cross-cultural dialogues, collaboration, and also understanding, it brings like a new era, a new page for everyone's life, because you get an opportunity to communicate, to collaborate, why not, to learn a new language and be acquainted with a new language and new cultures. And also it promotes intercultural exchange, which is can be like establishing different kind of global networks and platforms. And in this case, the internet and social media platforms have enabled individuals worldwide to connect, share ideas, engage in cross-cultural discussion. Imagine yourself that you are in different world that has an opportunity, gives you an opportunity to go to know more about this world. And at the same time, you have an opportunity to share your ideas and thoughts and gain information and knowledge from another. There is a saying, knowing, like how many languages you know, so many personality you are. It means that how many languages you learn, you are gaining so many personalities in yourself, inside of you. Because in this case, you start knowing about so many different kinds of languages and also their cultural culture and also their cultural diversity. Thank you. Be always just positive and encouraged to learn and to know more about other nations because you are a part of this globalization and also cultural just heritage. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for Mrs. Alicia Brigayang from your first presentation. Okay, we are going to the next session. This is Q&A session. I will give an opportunity to our participants here to make a question or having a question for Mrs. Alicia. Just raise your hand. Okay, Mr. Lukman, you have a question?
Yes, Mr. Rosas, can I have this time? Yeah, because this is
Yeah.
a pretty interesting topic to discuss regarding the globalization and cultural exchange. And I learned quite a lot from what Ms. Alice had for us today, especially regarding how globalization could shape the dynamic of cultural exchange in the context of global network. So, but probably my question is more into teaching English as foreign language. So, in your opinion, how do you think the globalization could accommodate or facilitate cultural exchange in the context of teaching English as a foreign language? Thank you.
Okay, from this side, I have a lot of experience. I would say that because not only being just a teacher trainer, at the same time, I'm a teacher. Just teaching English language to other students, foreign students, and also to Armenian students. And in the framework of the teaching, we have a lot of different kinds of exchange projects. Starting, it can be like a topic, a theme project, or it can be like communication project. In the framework of it, at the same time, I am also considering of different projects, coordinator and also founder and also co-founder of this project. And during these projects, we usually gather students from different countries. We have had programs when we have 50 and more country students and their teachers. And what is our aim during this project? First of all, communication, and also to develop the cultural exchange between different countries and students. And as an outcome of the project, the students not only develop their English speaking skills, because the main language that they exchange, they communicate, they have their project, during every step of the project, they communicate in English. This is number one in written, let's say, in this speaking form, they develop it. Number two, it's going to be like developing communication skills. and also collaboration. For the first time, maybe they have had different kinds of projects with their peers, with their classmates, but in the, let's say, inside of the classroom. But international projects give an opportunity to do a collaborative work already out of the classroom. In this case, in one group, for example, it can be one student from Indonesia, one from Japan, one from Armenia, etc. It's coming like to be international group project. And in the framework of the project, they know not only to doing strict steps that require the project, but at the same time, they know about their peer country. What country is it? Where is it? What language, for example, or even sometimes if they are teenagers, they are very interested in how, for example, students from let's say Korea or from Armenia or from Indonesia, how they spend, what kind of hobbies they have. This is another format of it. And also at the same time, they gain knowledge and also know how to collaborate. And while seeing the outcome of the project, they see that it was an international project and collaboration together. This is another aspect of it. And also while teaching English, it's a new opportunity to see and also to have communicative exchanges with other countries. You can choose even native speaking English countries have a collaborative Zoom meeting, for example, with them. Today is very popular playing mystery Skype. This is another version of it when the two groups of two different countries that try to know by asking questions to know more information about each other's country. There are different kinds of projects that you can, or even, for example, if the classroom doesn't have an opportunity to have an international exchange, you can, the teacher can do it. You can use, for example, Great Britain. They can make a video presentation and represent to other students. This is another, this is interlight, that is like out of international going. I think nowadays we have a lot of opportunities for developing cultural exchange programs. And if any, just wish or something, you can just apply. I will be glad to help your school to have such kind of opportunity. Thank you.
All right, thank you so very much, Miss Alice. Was lovely answers. And yeah, I could learn a lot from this. And yeah, this is so amazing that we now have the opportunity to actually, like have more time, and also particularly by the use of technology, we can make use of the cultural change in the context of probably virtual and also more sort of like broadened sort of society. Thank you so very much. Yeah, I'd like to give it back to Mr. Rosit.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Alisa, for your presentation and so your answer for Mr. Lukman's question. We go to the next presenter. She will present their presentation about, for the first presenter, she is, what's your name? Mrs. Aryani. Mrs. Aryani, the floor is yours. Okay, while we are waiting for Mrs. Aryani PowerPoint, maybe we want to discuss something. Okay, Mrs. Ali, is it your PowerPoint? Hello, Mrs.
Yes.
Ali. This
Yes,
is your
sir.
PowerPoint. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Salam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Ariani Laili Hidayati, and I'm from Mathematics Study Program. Okay, here I'm a first speaker. I will explain about the influence of Western culture on Indonesian society and Islamic faith. Okay. I have known that our environment has alternation so much at this time. One of them is about student morale, like what we have listened in some medias. Many students are drunk, engaged in gang fight, even festivity of sexual. In Islam, we always listen that the future of our religion is in the hand of young generation.
Alah, so bang dulu screen besan.
The young generation is pillar of religion. That statement is always heard by us. If the young generation is right, the future of religion is and country will be right too. One the country, if the young generation have bad action, I'm sure our religion and our country will be dissolved faster. Okay. The current era of globalization is a period in which there is an acceleration of movement in the excellence of many things, ranging from people, goods, service to culture practice. Globalization encourage and engage interaction between different region and population. Okay. The influence of Western culture on Indonesia society and Islamic value has been a complex and multi-phase process, shaped by historical, social, and political factors. Here's a detailed overview of how this influence has manifested. Okay. The first factor is historical context. Indonesia, the world large Muslim majority nation, has experienced significant Western influence since the colonial era, particularly during Dutch rule, which lasts for over 3 countries until the mid-20th century. Okay, the second factor is social and culture influence. Okay, first, education and language. Western style education system were introduced, leading to the establishment of school and universities model after European institution. The Dutch language and later English become important for administration and education, influencing the linguistic landscape. Okay, and the media and entertainment. Western media, including movies, television show, and music, have become popular, especially among the younger generation. This had led to a blending of Western and Indonesian cultural elements. Western social media platforms have also become influenced, impacting communication, style, and social norms. Okay, and fashion and lifestyle. Western fashion trends have been widely adopted in many sectors, promoting a more capitalist economic structure. The influence of multinational corporation, Western fast fashion trends have been widely adopted, particularly in urban areas. This includes the adoption of Western-style clothing alongside traditional Indonesia attire. Lifestyle included by Western norms, such as consumerism and individualism, are becoming more prevalent. Okay, and the next factor is economic influence. Business practice. Western business models and practice have been adopted in many sectors, promoting a more capitalist economic structure. The influence of multinational corporations has introduced Western goods and services, shaping consumption patterns. Can the last technology and innovation. The adoption of Western technology has accelerated modernization and industrialization in Indonesia. There is a growing emphasis on entrepreneurship and innovation inspired by Western economic paradigms. Okay. The influence of Western culture on Indonesia society and Islamic value is profound on multi-phase. It has led to significant change in various aspects of life, from education and politics to fashion and religious practice. However, this influence is not undirectional. Indonesia society has also adopted, recited, and hybridized their influence, creating a unique cultural landscape that reflects both Western and indigenous elements. Okay, that's for me. Sorry if I have any mistake.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you for Mrs. Ariani Laini Hidayati for your presentation. And we go to the next presenter. She is Nabila. Okay. Miss Nabila, are you ready for your presentation?
Yes.
Okay, Mrs. Nabila, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Morning. Good morning. Thank you all for being today. My name is Nabila Sarina Hermafitria, and I'm excited to talk to you about preserving wayang tradition, navigating globalization, challenges and opportunities in Indonesia culture exchange. Do you know what wayang is? Wayang is a traditional Indonesia performing art that use wood or leather puppet projects onto a white screen. Wayang plays a significant role in Indonesian society as a form of entertainment, education, and a medium for conveying cultural values. The history of wayang in Indonesia. The history of wayang in Indonesia has deep roots in the country's culture and has become an essential part of its cultural heritage. Here is a brief overview of the history of wayang. The origins, wayang is believed to have originated from animistic and dynamistic beliefs that have existed since prehistoric times in Indonesia. The wayang performance later evolved into a more structured and organized art form. Hindu-Buddhist influence. Wayang started to be influenced by Hindu and Buddhist teachings during the Ancient Kingdom in Indonesia, especially during the era of the ancient Mataram Kingdom in Java. Ritual performance. Initially, wayang was used in religious ceremonies and rituals aimed at honoring ancestors or deities. Wayang performance were also used to convey moral message and religious teachings. Development. Over time, wayang developed into a more complex performing art with a variety of character and deeper stories. Colonial period. During the colonial period, wayang faced suppression and bans by the Dutch colonial government. However, wayang persists and became a symbol of resistance against colonial rule. UNESCO recognition. In 2003, wayang was recognized as a masterpiece of oral and intangible heritage of humanity by UNESCO, solidifying its position as an important part of the world's cultural heritage. The history wayang reflects the long journey of Indonesia's rich traditional art, filled with cultural values, history, and local wisdom. Wayang remains one of the most respected and preserved forms of art in Indonesia's society to this day. Types of wayang. This is wayang kulit. Wayang kulit is a type of wayang that uses leather puppets project onto a white screen. Wayang kulit performances are usually accompanied by gamelan music and staged with epic stories from mythology. Wayang golek. Wayang golek is a type of wayang that uses wood or puppet manipulated by hand. Wayang golek is often performed in more humorous and contemporary story. Wayang wong. Wayang wong is a type of wayang that uses human actor instead of puppet. Wayang wong performances are typically present in the form of dance drama with classical Japanese story. Wayang potehi. Wayang potehi is a type of wayang from the Chinese Indonesian culture that use cloth puppets and is often performed in stories that combine elements of Chinese and Indonesian culture. Each type of wayang has its own values and uniqueness, and each plays an important role in preserving Indonesian cultural heritage. Wayang is not only a form of entertainment, but also a medium for conveying cultural values, the story, and moral the society. The challenge in preserving the authenticity of wayang in the era of globalization. Number one, commercialization. The commercialization of wayang for mass consumption and tourism purpose may lead to the dilution of its traditional values and artistic integrity. Number two, changing audience preference. In a rapidly changing world, traditional art forms like wayang may struggle to attract younger audience who are more inclined toward modern form of entertainment. Number three, lack of funding and support. Traditional art form often face challenges in terms of funding and support, making it difficult to sustain the training of new artists and the production of wayang performance. Number five, cultural appropriation. There is a risk of cultural appropriation where wayang is misrepresented or used inappropriately in a global context, leading to a distortion of its cultural significance. To overcome this challenge and preserve the authenticity of wayang, efforts can be made to promote awareness, provide financial support, collaborate with modern artists, integrated technology in performance, and engage in cultural diplomacy to ensure the continued relevance and appreciation of wayang in the globalist world. The regions that popularize wayang today. Number one, Central Java, Surakarta and Yogyakarta are the centers of shadow puppet culture. Shadow puppet performance in this region are often accompanied by gamelan music and literary stories like the Mahabharata and Ramayana. Number two is Java, Surabaya, and Malang. Surabaya and Malang are also famous for the art of puppetry, but shadow puppet and wooden puppet atau wayang golek. West Java, wayang golek is more popular in this region, especially in Bandung and its surrounding. Wayang golek is a three-dimensional puppet play with hand. And number four, Bali. The island of Bali is renowned for its unique shadow puppetry, often associated with Hindu religious ceremonies. Opportunities for cultural exchange. Collaboration between wayang art and other traditional art is an effort to combine the distinctive elements of each traditional art to create unique and captivating artworks. Some example of collaboration between wayang art and other traditional art is include dance art. Collaboration between wayang art and traditional dance such as Javanese dance, Balinese dance, or other regional dance can create performance that blend dance movement with stories from wayang performance. Music art involving traditional music such as gamelan, angklung, or other regional traditional music in wayang performance can create a rich sensory experience for the audience. Number three, painting art. Collaboration between wayang art and traditional painting can produce unique visual artwork. Painting depicting wayang character or wayang stories with traditional painting techniques and style can be captivating artwork with high aesthetic value. Number four, sculpture art. Combining wayang art with traditional sculptures such as wood or stone carving can create sculpture artwork depicting wayang the character with intricate details and captivating beauty. This wayang sculpture can be highly valuable artwork that enrich Indonesia's culture and heritage. The last effort to preserve the culture of wayang. Wayang as a cultural heritage can be preserved in two forms, namely cultural experience. It is the preservation of cultural care by immersing oneself directly into a cultural experience. Number two, cultural knowledge. It is a preservation of culture carried out by creating an information center about culture that can be utilities and various from. The aim is for education or for the development of the culture itself and the potential for regional tourism. Therefore, the younger generation can learn about their own culture. Wayang is a traditional Indonesian performing art that plays a significant role in the life of Indonesian society as a means of entertainment, education, and cultural values, despite many challenges and efforts to preserve the existing wayang culture into this day. Yes.
Well, thank you for Mrs. Nabila for your presentation about wayang. Yeah. We have seen that there are many wayang, there are many kinds of wayang. Ada wayang kulit, there's wayang golek, and so on. Let's go to the next presenter. We have Alicia Sharifa. Alicia Sharifa, are you hear me? Can you show your screen?
Yes.
Okay, we are waiting for your screen. This is Alicia Sharif. Okay, for the next presenter, I would like to remind you that you have 5 minutes to present your presentation, and shortly after that, you have 5 minutes to Q&A session. But in this time, we have to finish all the presenter to present the material first, which means 5 minutes each presenter, and then at the end of the presenter finish their presentation, uh, we can start Q&A session for the presenter. 5 minutes, 5 minutes, and 5 minutes for Q&A session. It depends on the time we have left. We have 25 minutes more to end our virtual meeting. Okay, Mrs. Alicia, time is yours.
Thank you, the moderator, for giving me the opportunity to deliver the material. Let me introduce myself. My name is Alicia Safira. Let's go straight to material, how to face the challenge and gain opportunities from cultural exchange in the era of globalization. The first material is globalization affect cultural exchange between countries. Globalization has had a major impact on cultural exchange between countries. Globalization, among other things, the connection between countries through global communication, transportation, and information technology. Globalization has both positive and negative impact on cultural identity, and unique cultural expression can be lost. To address this, governments are taking steps to protect and promote cultural diversity, including supporting local art, tradition, cultural heritage, and encouraging cross-cultural exchange. And understanding, therefore, we as Indonesian citizens, starting from ourselves, let's love and preserve our culture, the next material. The next material is challenge faced in the process of cultural exchange in the era of globalization. First is cultural difference. Cultural difference can lead to misunderstanding and conflict, especially if they are not well understood. For example, especially for communication style in Madura, especially in Sumeneb, the style of their communication is so soft. So, though they are angry, they still deliver it by using soft style, and everyone will think that they are not angry anymore. Second, globalization and Western cultural influence. Globalization has brought significant Western cultural influence that can change traditional cultural value Example, traditional dance such as Jaipong dance, Shrimpi dance, and others. This then began to experience a decline in popularity due to emergence of modern dance, which is popular among young people. Third, lack awareness of local culture. Lack of awareness of local culture, of the importance of local culture as a national identity, can result in the loss of traditional culture. Example, teenagers that ignore their own culture and tend to use another culture. 4. Impact of technology. On cultural exchange can pose challenges such as the use of technology that is incompatible with local culture. Example, teenager imitate to other culture that they get from the technology and bring it to their community. Next material is opportunities offered by cultural exchange in the era globalization. First is access to new market and technologies. Globalization has enabled companies to explore new market and technologies and expand their reach and operation worldwide. 2. Empowering marginalized community. Globalization can through effort to promote economic empowerment, access to education and health service, and participate in decision making. Third, strengthening international cooperation. Globalization has encouraged international cooperation and partnership and business to work together to address complex challenges. 4. Access to diverse cultural practice and tradition. Globalization has made it easier for people to access and experience diverse cultural practice and tradition. 5. Exchange of knowledge and information. Globalization has facilitated the exchange and dissemination of knowledge, ideas, and information on a global scale and accelerate research and development. Next, preserving the culture in the age of globalization. This example of group Angklung Brisbane group and all Indonesian students studying in Queensland. They were invited a performance at Buddha Birthday, a Buddhist celebration, being brave to show our culture in international event, build our awareness to love our culture and try to preserve it by do our culture wherever we are. Thank you for your attention. That's the only material I can convey. I return it to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Alisa, for your presentation. Um, we go to the next presenter. She is Sayyida Sadila. Sayyida Sadila, are you hear me? Hello? Hello, Sayyida Sadila. Please unmute your microphone. Yeah. Okay. Are you hearing me? I think the microphone has a trouble. Maybe someone help her to repair her microphone. Yeah, there is no voice. Yeah, maybe somebody borrowing your microphone. Yeah. Okay. Saida, can you use your microphone? No, no. There is no voice. Okay. Okay, because our presenters for this time has a trouble in her microphone. Maybe okay. Mrs. Anna Mai has coming to our meeting. Maybe I would like to give the opportunity to Mrs. Anna Mai Monteza, PhD, to present your um, presentation about cultural exchange in the age of globalization today on our lectures talk. Before Mrs. Aname deliver her presentation, I would like to inform about her work experience. She is teachers education in the senior high school principal in Du Bois College. And now she is BSCD program chair, DTE Department Head Society of English Language Learner Advisor, Digo College. Mrs. Anna, are you hear me? Hello, Mrs. Anna, are you hear me? Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon, Mrs. Anna.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you. I will give you an opportunity to present your presentation related to our topic today.
I believe I have it sent already like 3 days ago to
Yeah.
yeah, I've sent it via WhatsApp to Sir Abdul Wafi.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I have it sent already.
Yes.
Okay, wait.
And also to
Yeah,
Sir
give me a second, Alicia, to
Alright.
prepare this one.
Oh, I am the
Okay.
first. I am the first to do the talk.
You'll be the second, Miss. We have
Okay.
done with Miss Miss Alice. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let me help you with the sharing screen right now. Give me a second.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, is the screen, can you guys see the screen right now?
Yeah, it's clear.
We can see the presentation.
Hello, Mrs. Anna.
Yes.
Yes. I would like to remind you that each of keynote speaker will have 15 minutes to deliver your presentation, and
1-5.
then 15 minutes.
All right.
And shortly after that, you will have 5 minutes time to have Q&A session.
All right.
Is it clear?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes. The floor is yours.
All right. So, hello everyone. A good afternoon. And I would like to extend my thanks to the organizer of this event for having me as your invited speaker.
Share to Care International for Education. I'm actually one of the newest member, and thank you for the opportunity. And yes, I wish to share to you in context with the Philippines, especially with the University of Mindanao, the cultural exchange in the age of globalization. So there are challenges and there are opportunities, and I wish to explain that further using our unified university framework. And maybe we will start with understanding what will be the coverage of my talk today. Please move to the next slide. Thank you. All right. So we have here cultural exchange is seen as a pivotal element in the international education. And of course, it is, well, with this widespread understanding that cultural exchange is a process that enhances global awareness and intercultural competence by exposing individuals to different cultural contexts, thereby broadening their perspectives and fostering mutual understanding. So, cultural exchange is a trend. It's a global trend. We're in. Is my voice clear? Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
okay, okay.
Yes, yes,
All
but
right.
it's clear.
Okay, thank you, thank you. All right, so well, when we say cultural exchange, so there are several aspects that we can think about, but this talk I will be focusing on the student cultural exchange. So, in context of globalization, there are several things that we need to be adaptable and be flexible with, and that is also with the context of education. Hence, several institutions, especially higher education, have embraced the naturalization and the normalization of the student cultural exchange because it has significantly impacted education because it tries to foster cultural immersion, it tries to widen the horizon and the experiences of our learners. That's page 2009. Let's move to the next slide, please. So the coverage for my talk will be on the cultural exchange and context of education. What are those opportunities out from this program of student cultural exchange, and what are also those challenges facing uh, by the students and even administrations and institutions with the student cultural exchange and the strategic direction framework? I believe I wasn't able to share my strategic direction framework of the university, so maybe in the concluding part of my talk, I will be sharing to you our framework of the cultural exchange. So let's move to the next. So cultural exchange in the context of, in general context, is a process by which people from different backgrounds and cultures interact, share, and learn from one another. We have there, what are those things that we can learn from each other? The different traditions, the beliefs, the costumes, and ways of life. Now, this interaction often leads to a mutual appreciation and understanding of diverse cultures, fostering respect, tolerance, and cooperation among participants. So, cultural exchange can occur in various forms, such as I have made mention, another parameter of cultural exchange, we have student exchange programs, in which I will be delving deeper into. And then we have professional exchanges, in which we can have like faculty exchange, guest lectures exchange. We have art and music festivals and digital platforms that connect people globally. So that's in the context, the general context of cultural exchange. Now let us try to move to the next, which will be the context and social cultural context we're in. This is being regarded as a means of enriching societies by introducing diverse cultural elements that contribute to the social and cultural fabric. According to Murphy Lidstrom 2002, cultural exchange can lead to the creation of new strangers are individuals who, through their experiences abroad, bring back new cultural insights and practices that influence their home cultures. So, what it tries to say is that once you're going to engage in cultural exchange, say, for example, students, when you go abroad for quite some time, like few weeks or even few months, when you go home, you will be able to be more flexible because you have been exposed to other culture. And with that cultural exchange, it will lead to new insights and it will broaden our perspectives about other people's culture. Thus, we will be able to sometimes adapt and be more respectful and more understanding with each other. So that's the essence and that's the power of cultural exchange. Let's move to the next slide. Now, as I have made mention, globalization has significantly impacted education, fostering cultural immersion and student exchange programs that allow young people to experience different cultures firsthand. Now, these initiatives offer profound opportunities for mutual understanding, personal growth, and academic enrichment. I will be explaining this one by one as part of the opportunities of cultural exchange. Let's move to the next slide. So these are the several opportunities. I have highlighted in this presentation the 5 opportunities in cultural exchange. Let me start with the first 3 opportunities in cultural exchange, starting with enhanced global awareness and cultural competence. Another is academic and language skills enhancement. And the last one here in the first set, personal growth and independence. Now, let's talk about enhanced global awareness and cultural competence. In exposing students to different way of life, belief system, and worldviews, we will be able to enhance their awareness of the varied and diversity of cultural beliefs, the systems, and even the traditions and practices. And with this experiences and this awareness of the differences will really foster empathy and broaden perspectives. It means, in a nutshell, we will be able to understand each other. Say, for example, we could not help that we have variations and differences when it comes to our belief system. And sometimes, because we are not aware with other people's belief system, we tend to somewhat question or repel, and that makes or that can cause conflict with other people's culture because we are not so aware. Say, for example, with their actions and practices. When I went to Indonesia, my first time when I went to Indonesia, I was being greeted by people in there with, bowing and others extended their hands. But there are also some that are, opted for, just bowing and then clasping their hands. And I have realized that Indonesia is very, should I say, very rich when it comes to culture and belief system, in which I need to be very observant and I need to be very respectful of. Because there are some people it's okay to extend their hands or maybe have a hug, but there are some people who are not so, keen, and they are not into practicing those normal practices here in the Philippines. And in that way, you have enhanced your awareness with other people's culture, and that foster empathy. And in a wider perspective, you will be broadening your landscape when it comes to other people's culture and belief system. Another is the academic and language skills enhancement, wherein there are several opportunities abroad. When you go abroad, say short-term cultural exchange, there are several areas in your course, in your home school, that could not be covered in the context of your classroom. But when you go out as a student, you will be able to be exposed to subjects that are newer to you, that are not available to your home countries. So therefore, in the immersion, and the cultural exchange, you will be able to understand and you will be able to learn more those courses and those subjects, topics, several learnings that are not readily available in your home country. So maybe because it is not being focused, because it is not in the context of your school. Also, immersion in a foreign language environment significantly enhances language proficiency. Philippines is known to have English as a second language. And in fact, it is our medium of instruction from basic or elementary to higher years. And when we did our first cultural exchange program in Indonesia, we are somewhat very thankful with that area wherein we are exposed to the English language. Yet, when my students went in Indonesia for very short-term cultural exchange, I was amazed because they were able to adjust and they were able to learn some words, Indonesian words in Bahasa. And that way, their proficiency with language, learning a new language is much more possible and it can be realized given that they have really a direct exposure to Bahasa as the language of Indonesia, one of the languages spoken in Indonesia. So therefore, this one is one of the opportunities being, enjoyed if we will be engaging in the cultural exchange. Another is, of course, personal growth and independence. Students learn to navigate unfamiliar environments, manage challenges, and build resilience. Because you will be there independently, you will be exposed to a strange culture and you will be exposed to people that have different belief system. It will really honed you to become more independent, to become more resilient, to become more observant, and you will be navigating an environment that is unfamiliar, and that makes it interesting, a very interesting journey, given that you will be there without familiar faces. And one of the perks and one of the positive outcome of that experience will be an increased self-confidence and self-awareness. I will get the experience from my students who went in Indonesia. I could really say that their self-confidence, one of those characters, positive characters that are being built when they have engaged and they have that program of cultural exchange really is the strengthening, boosting, and developing self-confidence. And that is a plus and one of the advantage of cultural exchange.
Hello, this is Anna.
Next slide, please. Yep.
The time is almost up.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Right. So we have here another opportunities in cultural exchange is building lifelong connections. When you are exposed to a a community wherein you will be engaging yourself to, say, for example, in cultural exchange, you will be able to know people, to learn their behavior, to learn their personality, and even their practices and belief system. And in that way, you build connection, and that way you build friendship. That can be very essential and relevant in the workplace, especially in the future, or building international networks that could help you out, especially uh, in your professional growth. Another one is promoting peace and mutual understanding. Yeah, as I have made mention, you will be exposed to diverse culture. Therefore, it will increase your awareness, social cultural awareness. And that means you will be able to understand more about people. And that means promoting peace because you will establish understanding despite differences. Okay, thank you. Let's move to the next. So we have here some challenges in cultural exchange. The first one is, of course, cultural adjustment and homesickness, especially if you are not familiar with the place. You will be You will be culture shocked, especially with a strange belief system and practices. Also, with financial barriers, not all could afford to go abroad, and not all schools could afford to have somewhat like a full support. So that means students will have to shell out financial obligations, and finally inequality in program quality wherein there are several factors in the curriculum of the home school and the host school that are somewhat not parallel. In that way, the program is not that identical when it comes to the implementation. Sometimes it leads to, dissatisfaction among participants because we have expectation, but that's okay. That's part of it. That's part of the process. So we have three. Let's move to the next. And another is the risk of cultural misunderstanding. As I as I have made mention, sometimes because of the differences of our culture and belief system and behavior, it can sometimes result to miscommunication. Like our communication pattern is quite different with others that can result to conflict. And also, if students are not aware with that, inadequate preparation and lacking preparation and no understanding whatsoever with the differences, it can lead to mishaps and some trouble along the way. And finally, of course, academic disruption. Several students involved in student exchange and cultural exchange have some troubles with parallelism with the courses they need to get from the host school to their home school because sometimes our academic calendar is not, should I say, parallel, it's not the same. So
Okay.
it sometimes disrupts our academic. All right.
Hello,
So those
Mrs.
are
Anna.
the yes.
Yes, your time is up, I think.
Okay, so I will just wrap it up. I will
Yeah.
move to I will just move to the next. So this is, by the way, our strategies in cultural immersion and exchange program. So this is the step of our from pre-departure down to evaluative research output in the end. And finally, let's move to my conclusion. Okay, by the way, these are our experiences when we went to Indonesia. We have 3 or 4 partner schools in
Oh,
there.
great.
Yeah, so we have PUWA International School, and then we have OMP or Universitas Muhammadiyah Purwokerto and UWEN Saizo Purwokerto, and we
Yeah.
also have Unsuwid Sindaral. Okay, and then let's move to the next. These are also our outbound student exchange from UWIN. They stayed here for 25 days and they have coastal cleanup. They have engaged in classroom observation. They teach classes. And also we have
Okay.
tree planting and all. And I guess that's it. Let's move to the conclusion. Okay, so conclusion, just the conclusion. So cultural immersion and student exchange programs in the age of globalization offer significant opportunities for enhancing global awareness, academic enrichment, personal growth, and international cooperation. However, addressing the challenges of cultural adjustment, financial barriers, program quality, cultural misunderstandings, and academic disruption is crucial for maximizing the benefits of these programs. By implementing comprehensive preparation, financial support, ongoing mentorship, curriculum integration, and reciprocity, educational institutions can create more effective and inclusive cultural exchange experiences that contribute to a more interconnected and harmonious global community. All right, so I guess that's it for my talk today.
Okay, thank you,
And thank
Mrs.
you so much for your time. Thank you for your attention.
Okay,
And
thank you, Mrs. Anna,
okay,
for
not
your
a problem.
presentation. Okay.
Okay,
Okay, we go to the next session. This is a Q&A session.
of course.
But I please to you before we go to the next session, the Q&A session, I would like to invite you all, participant, keynote speaker, and also the presenters to taking photo together. Mr. Lukman, can you handle it?
Yeah, sure. I'm
Uh,
preparing right now.
okay.
All right, so I'm just gonna make sure everyone is up. Give me a second. I need to not highlighting. All right, so everyone is here, but hopefully everyone is here could switch on your camera. Can anyone switch on the camera right now? Okay, Kak Ana, Unsila, Kak Fitrotun Nisa, Miss Rainy K, UMDC Tagose, and then Nufalia Faradila. Okay, so everyone just mind to yeah, so we're going to take a picture right now. Okay. So right, just give me yes, okay. Thank you so very much for Miss Riani. Okay, so we're going to start it right now. Okay. In the count of three, everyone please get yourself ready. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Give me your best smile. Okay, once more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm moving to the next slide. Okay, so this will be the last slide. Right, so let's do it once more time. 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect.
Okay,
Thank you
thank
so
you,
very much.
Mr. Lukman.
So, Mr. Rossi, you can proceed with the next Q&A.
Okay, thank you for your photo just now. Okay, we go to the next session, Q&A session for Mrs. Anna. Okay, I will give the opportunity for the participant or maybe the presenter wants to ask something to Mrs. Anna Mai. Time, the floor is yours. Maybe somebody wants to ask, just a question. Okay, Mrs. Sarifatus Sofia. Yes, go ahead.
Well, good afternoon, Miss Monteza.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, it's nice to see you.
Yes,
You're so bright on my handphone screen
thank
and
you.
lovely. Well, okay.
Thank you.
Okay. It is so amazing that what technology has done to the culture. It can exchange the culture rapidly and also globally. And in my opinion, you have said before that one of the challenges of cultural exchange is the, if I'm not mistaken, financial barrier.
Yes, the
Yes.
financial barrier.
Yes.
True.
In my opinion, the rapid increase of technology can also be the solution of the financial barrier, because nowadays we can exchange culture without seeing each other in person physically.
True.
Yes, of course.
That
For
is
example,
true.
in this seminar, for the very closest example, in this seminar, I can see you and know your, what is that, your programs, cultural exchange programs that you have done in your university. But I have a question.
Yes.
What if it comes to my mind the word commercialization?
Commercialization.
Okay. How about what is your opinion of uh, nowadays that the culture of each country, every country has, we can know their culture in social media, for example, in from YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and others. It becomes commercialization. Yes, they commercialize culture. It is good or bad to the culture exchange between countries, especially in the social media?
All right. That's a very interesting question, if I may say.
Thank you.
Yeah, commercialization is really, as for me, it depends on what is really the purpose. And I believe most of the institutions' purpose to indulge and engage in cultural exchange, especially student exchanges, for the students to be able to have a globalized context when it comes to, say, for example, in my department, as the head of education department, we would like our students to be exposed to a global context wherein they will have the development of their pedagogical skills through that particular context, globalized, because in our strategic direction, it is not really in the local or national career pathing already, but we are aiming to have our students be ready for a globalized market. So in that way, commercialization is being used in a purpose of having those students be exposed with the knowledge that they will be able to have a wider understanding and perspectives with other culture. But yeah, sometimes it can be in a way that it is somewhat like in a negative way wherein there is an exploitation already with the program, given that it will not be guided properly with somewhat like a safety mechanism that would really try to make sure that students are very safe, especially during the cultural exchange. I guess that's it.
Okay. How about you, Mrs. Sarifat Sophia? Is it clear for you?
Yes, I can see your point of your
Mhm.
answers. Thank you very much, Ms. Monteza.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Ana Mondeza, for your presentation and also for your clear answer for my friend's question here.
Of course, not a
Okay,
problem. Thank you.
okay, we go to the next presenter from our college students. She is Sayyida Sadila. Are you there? Sayyida Sadila? Hello, Sayyida Sadila. Okay, I think Sayyida Sadila have the same problem. Um, she has trouble in. Okay.
Hello.
Right. Okay. I think it's clear for Miss Sayyida Sadila to perform your presentation now. You have 5 minutes to present your presentation. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yeah. Hello. Hello, good afternoon, friends. Introduce my name is Sayyida Shahdila from the third presenters Islamic Religious Education Study Program, which will explain about cultural diplomacy efforts undertaken by Indonesia through the Miss World election are as follows. Indonesian culture. Indonesia is a country rich in culture and nature. Culture in Indonesia is very diverse, but in terms of language, ethnicity, customs, in religion, Indonesia also has natural resources that have the potential to be used as a tourist destination, but locally and internationally. Tourist destination, but locally and internally. The Indonesian government's effort in unleashing the cultural and tourist uh, sector began the development of tourist Indonesia. What is Miss World? The Miss World Pagan is one of the avenues that Indonesia and at least and improve its image internationally. Indonesia to improve its image in the international world. Indonesia sees that this event is one of the ways that can based the promote Indonesia culture and tourists to the international community, promote Indonesia culture and tourists to the international community via competition in the organization of Miss World Indonesia can promote Indonesia culture and tourism to the international world, promote Indonesian culture and tourism to the international world. Moreover, with the broadcast of the Miss World event in various countries in the world currently opens up great opportunities opportunities for Indonesia to be recognized more widely by the people of the world. Concept of cultural diplomacy. Diplomacy is a method with the certain rules and manners that is used by country to achieve its national interest. A country in order to achieve in national interest in its relations with other countries or with the international community by this in international relations diplomacy it inseparably intertwined by foreign policy and international politics very closely with foreign policy and international politics and conventionally in the search form diplomacy is in the form of negotiation conquered by official state officials and parties representing the state national interest of each country.
Okay, I think Sayyida Sadila, your time is up. Maybe you want to finish your presentation. Just uh, go ahead to the conclusion. Maybe.
Okay. Conclusion, this event is clearly a cultural exchange, even that can showcase the cultural of their respective countries, such as, for example, there are participants from Spain who wear traditional Spanish clothes called flamenco and perform a traditional dance called flamenco. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for Mrs. Sayyida Sadila for your presentation. Okay, we go to the next presenter. For the final presenter, she is Anna Unzila. Anna Unzila, you hear me? Hello, Anna Unzila. Hello. Okay, we are waiting for Anna Unzila's presentation. Her microphone. Her microphone. Test, test. Yeah, we have trouble in microphone. Patient for our respective participant.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you, Anna Unzila. Okay, I will give you 5 minutes to present your presentation. Make sure you use your time clearly, okay? Yeah, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yeah. Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Hello guys, before I present my PowerPoint, I want to introduce myself. I'm Anamzila, a student of IAIN Madura in the second semester, and I take management of business Sharia program here. Next to the second slide. Lecture talks are held to convey material on a topic of discussion where we have them cultural exchange in the age of globalization between opportunities and challenges. Okay, I take title namely building bridge or reinforcing walls. What is that? Okay, before we go for that title, I have introduction about what is cultural exchange. Cultural exchange involves the exchange of ideas, values, and traditions among different culture groups. Its goal is to build understanding, respect differences, and broaden world views through cross-cultural interaction. It can serve a bridge that strengthens intercultural relations, or it can reinforce walls by preserving the cultural identity of each group. Uh, we live here, guys. We live is not a lot, right? So that we live in a communities, and what's happening inside, we will feel it together. So then, just how we build good situation for our relationships. Okay, next to the next slide. What is building bridge for cultural exchange? Okay, cultural exchange can help build bridge between cultures by expanding understanding, respecting differences, and promoting intercultural dialogue. It creates opportunities to understand new perspectives, celebrate diversity, and build stronger relationships between communities. Okay, guys, by uh, building bridge, what is building bridge? Building, we see from that word building that we can build like understanding each other and respecting our differences. Example, students from different countries spend a semester studying. Imagine, guys, if we have friends that students from different countries and we have differences there. We have different food, different tradition, and we can know each other about that. We can sharing each other about what we have in our countries. Okay, next. What is reinforcing walls? Okay. Cultural exchange can strengthen cultural values by expanding understanding, reducing stereotypes, and enriching perspective. Through intercultural interaction, we can discover similarities, broaden tolerance, and strengthen relationship between individual and groups. Fact it's almost the same, but it has differences. Reinforcing walls. We just how we reinforce the walls, not to destroy the walls. Okay, guys, we can reducing stereotypes and enriching perspective. Example, international festival. International festivals that like we show our what we have in our countries and that can seen by another what we saw like international festivals like Indonesia and Malaysia, and we can see that they are working in front of you guys what they show to you. Do you get, guys? Okay, next opportunities and challenge. Building bridge has opportunities, also challenge. opportunities, and challenge building bridge. The culture exchange can be a bridge that the challenge is to ensure respect and appreciating for these cultures while avoiding cultural assimilation or domination that could be detrimental. Then we go to opportunities. It's also important. So to strengthen each culture's identity, preserve diversity, and prevent exploitation. We go to challenge of reinforcing goals. In the context strengthening goals, the challenge lies in the potential for isolation and intercultural tension that may arise. So then the challenge of the reinforcing goals that the potential for isolation and intercultural tension that may arise. And then the opportunities of
Okay,
reinforcing goals.
your time is almost up. This is Mozilla.
Okay. Can I read the conclusion?
Okay,
Okay, thank
go
you.
ahead.
I want to read the conclusion for my PowerPoint, guys. Cultural exchange is a complex and important process. Building cultural bridge involves appreciating differences and fostering intercultural cooperation. Meanwhile, strengthening cultural barriers sometimes necessary to protect unique cultural identities and prevent cultural misuse or exploitation. Okay, guys, before I close my present, I want to share you quotes about our theme. The true strength of globalization lies in when we understand and appreciate cultural diversity and blur those differences. It's from Kofi Annan, I forget to put his name here. Okay, thank you. Maybe only it from me.
Okay, thank you, Anna Unsila, for your presentation. Okay, this is the last session, Q&A session for all presenter number 1 until presenter number 5. I will give the all participant in this virtual meeting. Maybe you have a question for all, what we say, presenters in our lecture talk. Just raise your hand. Well, there is no question. Okay. If there is no question for all the presenters from our students at IAI and Madura here, from our presenters from different faculty, I would like to close this lecture stop series 20 from reading my notes about our virtual meeting today. As we draw this insightful discussion on cultural exchange in the age of globalization, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to our esteemed keynote speaker and all participants and presenters for their contribution and active engagement. Today's dialogue has highlighted both the tremendous opportunity and the significant challenges that come with cultural exchange in our interconnected world. We have learned that while globalization opened doors to unprecedented cultural interaction and mutual understanding, it also brings complexities that require thoughtful navigation and collaboration. It is through such open exchange that we can foster mutual respect, celebrate diversity, and work toward a more inclusive and harmonious global community. Once again, thank you for your participation and for sharing your perspective. Let us continue to sustain cultural exchange, embracing both opportunities and challenges as we move forward in this ever globalizing world. So we made the the end of our meeting. Let's close our meeting by saying Hamdalah together. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Wishing you all the great day ahead and goodbye. I will give back to Mr. Lukman.
Okay, thank you so very much, Mr. Rohit. So, yeah, we're happy to have our lecture talk 20 today, and on behalf of language unit, on behalf of the chief of language unit, Mr. Wafi. So, I personally and also the team would like to say our gratitude, thanks, and also honored feeling to all the esteemed keynote speakers for today, especially Ms. Monteza, to have your time. I'm so happy to have you here today, and we learn a lot from you, and also from all presenters from Yai and Madura. It is such a great opportunity for you guys to be here. And hopefully we would love to have more seminars, presentation, and collaborations in near future. And please stay safe and healthy there. Yep, thank you so very much. And let's end our session today. Thank you. You can leave the Zoom meeting right now. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone. Okay, terima kasih banyak semuanya. Thank you, guys. So you can now leave the Zoom. I will end the session now. Saya akhiri ya.